Ever wonder what really makes a website, well, a website? Behind every single app, every online store, and every social media feed you scroll through, there's a single, surprisingly simple language that holds the entire thing together. Today, we're going to decode that language, and by the end of this, you'll get the fundamental building block of the entire internet.
So, here's what we've got lined up. We'll start by uncovering the web's secret language. Then, we're going to look at the anatomy of a web page and the one thing that gives it its superpower, the hyperlink. After that, we'll get practical and actually build a few links. And finally, we'll talk about how we navigate this huge digital world.
All right, let's dive right in. Let's start at the very beginning. Because behind every beautiful, complex website you've ever visited, there's a simple, elegant code that started it all.
I mean, think about it. From your favorite social media site to the biggest online stories in the world. What's the one language they all have in common?
Well, the answer is HTML. It stands for Hypertext Markup Language. This is the standard language used to create the skeleton, the very structure of every web page out there. It's not a flashy programming language, but trust me, it is the essential bedrock of the web.
Let's break that down, because both parts are really important. Hypertext was the revolutionary idea here. It's just text that contains links to other text. That's what creates the web of pages we all surf every day. The markup language part is how we give that text structure. We use these simple tags, or commands, to tell the browser, hey, this is a main heading, or this is a picture. It's basically the instruction manual for your content.
And, HTML has evolved right alongside the web itself. What's really cool to see here is the journey. It went from simple text documents back in 1991 to this powerful platform with HTML5 today. This latest version can handle video, audio, and really complex apps right there in the browser. Stuff that was just science fiction when this all began.
So, if HTML is the language, how does it actually build a page? Let's look at the basic anatomy. And I want you to think of it just like a skeleton that gives every single website its shape.
So every HTML page is built with this exact structure. The easiest way to think about it is this. The head section is for the browser. It's like the backstage information. It's got stuff like the little title you see in your browser tab. The body section, on the other hand, is for you. That's the main stage. It holds all the visible content, the text, the images, the links that you actually see and interact with.
Now, when a browser reads your HTML, it builds this incredible map of it called the Document Object Model, or DOM. You can just think of it like a family tree for the page. This map is absolutely key to making websites interactive. It's what allows other code like JavaScript to find a specific element on the page, like a like button, and change it without having to reload the entire page. It's how that counter goes up instantly, or how new messages just appear in a chat. Okay, now let's talk about the single feature that turns a bunch of documents into a true web, the hyperlink. This simple little innovation is the engine of the internet. It connects a whole universe of information with just a single click. It's incredible.
So how does a link actually work under the hood? It all starts with what's called an anchor tag, that little A. The most important part, though, is the href. That stands for Hypertext Reference, and that's where you put the destination address. Finally, whatever text you put between the opening A tag and the closing A tag, that's what becomes the visible, clickable part of the link on the page.
You've seen these colors a million times without even thinking about it, right? This super simple scheme, blue for new, purple for visited, is a universal design language that's just built right into the web. It's a subtle but really powerful visual cue that helps all of us keep track of where we've been and where we can go next.
Okay, now for the fun part. Let's get practical and see exactly how to write the code for a few different kinds of links you'll use all the time.
First up, the most common task of all, creating a simple text link that takes a user from your page to another website. So let's look at the code. It's so simple. You've got your anchor tag, A. The href attribute points to the full website address you want to go to. And the text in between, click here, well, that becomes the part that's clickable on the page. That's it. It's clean, it's simple, and it's incredibly powerful.
And here's the result. That one little line of code produces this, a standard blue underlined link, totally ready to take the user to another page.
But of course, links aren't just for text. What if you want to make an image clickable, like a button or a photo in a gallery? The logic here is exactly the same, which is what's so great. You still wrap the whole thing in an anchor AAG tag with your destination, href, but instead of putting text inside, you just pop the entire IMG tag right in there. Whatever is inside the anchor tag becomes the link. It's that easy.
And for our last example, let's look at another really useful type of link. This one doesn't go to a web page, but instead it opens the user's default email client, all ready to compose a new message.
The magic trick for this one is the mail to prefix you see inside the href. That little command tells the browser, hey, don't look for a web page. Instead, it triggers an action. Open up the user's default email app and pre-fill the to field with this address. Super handy.
So we know how to build links, but there's actually a bit more strategy involved in how we use them. So for our final section, let's explore the different kinds of paths we can create to get people where they need to go.
Basically, links fall into two main categories. You've got internal links, which point to other pages on the same website. These are essential for navigation, and they help search engines understand your site's structure. Then you have external links, and those point to a completely different domain. These are great for providing extra resources, and they can even boost your site's credibility.
And this brings us to how we write the address itself. For an external link, you need what's called an absolute URL. That's the full address starting with HTTPS. But for an internal link, you can use a relative URL. The analogy here is perfect. Instead of giving a full street address, you can just say, it's the next door down the hall. It's a simple shorthand that only works because you're already inside the same building, or in this case, the same website.
So there you have it. From its secret language to the anatomy of a page and the absolute superpower of the hyperlink, you now know the fundamental building blocks of our entire digital world. The only question left is, what are you going to connect first? Thanks so much for watching.